Hello and welcome everyone to Copy and Paste, the clean and family-friendly Reddit reading podcast. This is the 8th episode of r/CrazyIdeas, where we can experience the weirdest and thankfully not true ideas. This is one of my most favorite subreddits, so hopefully you enjoy it with me. Also, my throat is a little bit raspy, please ignore it. And don't forget, if you like this podcast, then it'd be greatly appreciated for you to like and subscribe. Thank you for joining me. Okay, let's get started. And the first post by user /Spark29: to avoid war, give Putin an NFT saying he owns Ukraine. That way Putin can brag about having Ukraine without actually having Ukraine. Ukrainians can keep doing Ukrainian stuffs without interference. Everybody wins. I don't know how NFT works, by the way. It shows. And the second post by user /MikeHoncho43: if 75% of Russia's army is on the Ukrainian and Belarusian border, let's invade Russia. Nobody's watching those flanks. Those sweet, sweet flanks. I have a strong feeling like half of these posts are just going to be about Russia and Ukraine. And the third post by an NSFW account: there should be an unlimited class for athletics. Performance drugs? Okay. Trans? No problem. Adding 1 meter titanium rods to your thighs and shins? Sure. Replace your hands with paddles? Yikes. Swap your arms and legs for bionic replacements that never tire? Go for it, as long as you're 60% human. Genius. And the fourth post by user /Squidot47: Zelensky should declare war on Poland, then immediately surrender, granting all of its territory to Poland, and therefore NATO. Genius. And the fifth post by user /oobraphone: if I was president, I would eliminate daylight savings and institute chaos hours, which would shift the clock at random intervals every few days. Announced via emergency broadcast system. Amazing. And the sixth post by an NSFW account: get my girlfriend a Roomba named Alice, so my girlfriend doesn't want to name our future daughter Alice. Okay, a little confusing, but let's read on. My girlfriend and I recently started talking about having kids. We won't do it now, not even in the near future. But as a joke, we started talking about names and all. She wants Alice, I want Clara. She said Clara is a good second contender, but Alice is number one. So, I just thought of this. I'll pretend this conversation didn't happen and get her a blue Roomba. Humans will bond with anything, and Roombas are a proof of this. My girlfriend is especially attached to things, so it'll work. I'll be giving her the Roomba, and it's blue, just like Alice's dress from Alice in the Wonderland, so it'll make perfect sense to get to name it, and also perfect sense that I name it Alice. Then, in a couple of years, when we have our daughter and she suggests Alice, I'll say Alice, like the Roomba, and I'll suggest Clara. That's it. The perfect plan. And the seventh post by user /IamUnique6435: a website where you enter when you graduated high school, and it tells you everything you learned wrong back then. Why do I feel like I've heard of that before? In the eighth post by an NSFW account: all elections should have an option called I'm feeling lucky. If this option gets the most votes, a random citizen is chosen instead. That is... oh my god. I'm not even gonna question that. And the ninth post by user /ThisIsWaterSpeaking: Idaho and Ohio should merge and become one state called Ohio. Yes, I'm aware these states aren't even next to each other, but I think it could still work. And the 10th post by I Sleep in a Hammock: screw it. Russia is in a flagrant violation of the Budapest Memorandum. Let's just give Ukraine their nukes back. The Budapest Memorandum was a diplomatic agreement that was signed at the breakup of the Soviet Union. At the time of the dissolution of the Soviet Union, Ukraine inherited a large number of former Soviet nuclear weapons. In return for giving up these weapons, Ukraine received security guarantees from both NATO and Russia. Well, screw it. Russia has completely violated the terms of this agreement, so I guess it's now null and void. Let's just give Ukraine their nukes back. What could possibly go wrong? And the 11th post by user slash mermkw, it's in the description. If you find a safe you can't open, put it in your car and drive around suspiciously until you're pulled over by the police. When they search your car and ask what's inside it, you can say that you don't know. Then they'll have to open it, and you all get to see what's inside, with no locksmith costs. Just know if there's something illegal in there, like drugs or like weapons, you're screwed. And the 12th post by user slash ramjitan. Instead of only freezing Putin's and friends' assets everywhere, sell them all and give the money to Ukraine to help people. I have no idea how stocks work and assets, but if it works, then yeah, amazing plan. In the 13th post by an NSFW account, this is a lot like the previous post with Poland actually. America should declare war on the Ukraine, and then the Ukraine should surrender immediately. Then America would announce that Ukraine is a US territory, but give them full autonomy. No more Russian invasion. Psh. If Russia would dare step on the Ukrainian soil after that, it would essentially be stepping on American territory, therefore giving all blame to Russia as the aggressor towards the whole world, allowing America and its allies to defend the country by any means necessary. It's a lot like the other one, just more detailed. And the 14th post by user slash just for normal Mordis. No raises for Congress unless there's an equivalent raise in the minimum wage. I don't know how politics work, but sounds like a great plan. And the 15th post by user slash crapforbrains553. Patent the common ways of polluting and sue anyone who pollutes without your permission. You just solved climate change. And the 16th post by user slash NSFW account. Fast food restaurants should have a random order option for the indecisive and daring. That sounds like a recipe for disaster. Oh, and don't forget, Karens are gonna have a field day with that. And the 17th post by user slash DangerousImplication. Someone should create a deepfake of Putin telling Russian soldiers to stop the war, and then spread that misinformation all over the war zone. I think if governments actually try, they would be able to do this, like, properly. And the 18th post by user slash ursois, or ursois, I'm gonna guess it's a silent S. I'm gonna run for president with the sole campaign promise being that I will order drone strikes on robocallers and scam telemarketers. I mean, you could just go technical and, like, I don't know, reverse hack them. Why do you need to do drone strikes? But I mean, sounds fun. And the 19th post by user slash jamiesnl. Paintball, but instead of using paintballs, we use sleeper darts. Last person awake wins. And the 20th post by user slash crapforbrains553. A money service that makes your paychecks come in continuously so that you can see the pennies ticking up like a bank account in a clock. Well, you know, the username suits the post. Crapforbrains553. Well, what if people get paid like monthly? Then they're just getting money slowly. It's just stupid. And the 21st post by user slash omega-falcon. If we change to a 4-day work week, instead of making Monday or Friday the new day off, we should make Wednesday the new day off. Instead of just going between 4 days of work and 3 days of rest, we would never work more than 2 days in a row, unless you have a job that has irregular hours. You work 2 days, and boom, you get a break. That is actually really smart. And the 22nd post by user slash ThisIsWaterSpeaking. Child ugliness pageants where the ugliest sob wins. Whoever enlists the child in this is literally the worst parent in the world. Like, come on. And the 23rd post by user slash takenorinvalid. Turning to Love. A blind dating show where some of your potential suitors are secretly just sophisticated AI programs. Or, even more entertaining, not at all sophisticated AI programs. $billion idea right there. And then 24th post by user slash besnadlesen. It's also in the description. A video streamed fight sport where two people's immune systems fight it out under a microscope. For example, the Pope versus Mike Tyson, or Chuck Norris versus Greta Thunberg. The immune system fight sport under a microscope. Why? Get young people interested in immunology, molecular biology, genetics, etc. A way to slip in specialized knowledge to a wide audience who would otherwise not be interested in immunology. Explain what's happening during the fight and how people can find out more on their own. A new fight sport that is not morally objectionable. Find people with amazingly efficient immune systems and study what makes them different. How it works. Blood from two different donors is processed. Filtering out the red blood cells makes the liquid clearer so that the fight can be viewed under a microscope. Process equal amounts of blood, take equal amounts of liquid that contains the immune system cells. The fight. Place a drop of liquid from each donor so that they touch under a high quality microscope. Design software that visually identifies different cell types at a glance. In addition, it remembers and follows all cells throughout the event. When we zoom in on a fight between two or several cells, the software is able to show relevant information under each cell. We see what type of cell it is and to whom it belongs. A commentator explains what each cell is doing and how things are going for it. A way to promote the new sport. What if the blood donors are Mike Tyson versus Conor McGregor, the Pope versus Greta Thunberg, Pamela Anderson versus Chuck Norris? It's pretty much all it would take to make the sport popular. People worldwide could bet in cryptocurrencies. A portion of the bets goes for humanitarian purposes, a portion goes to fund the sport/platform, and some goes to the blood champion. Each fight event would be streamed live via YouTube or similar. Scrap the previous one. This is truly a billion dollar idea. And the 25th post by user slash ClassyJacket. I saved the best idea, far out best idea, for last. This is just genius. Test the theory that dolphins are smart. Employ a dolphin at your place of work. Provide it all the necessary accommodations so it can be safe and healthy, and see how productive it really is. Genius. Miraculous. Unfortunately, that was it for today. If you enjoyed this podcast, I'd greatly appreciate for you to like and subscribe. To listen to this podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or any of my platforms, or to visit any of my socials, click the link in the description. And please feel free to send me an audio message or leave a comment. It's been a pleasure. Goodbye.